What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the month ahead for June for all my Leo sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of July 23rd and August 22nd, then you are a Leo sun sign, and this video is for you. Today we're going to be looking at the energies of June. We're going to look at the past energies for last month, your current energies, the future energies for next month, as well as what to hold on to and let go of in the month of June, as well as obstacles you can expect to face, as well as lessons you're going to learn in the next month. This is going to be a general overall reading. It's going to apply to you generally in a non-specific way. But if you want a more specific reading tailored just for you, then head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description, and we can do a reading just for you. But as it stands, this is a general reading for all the Leos out there. And I'm going to be using the Druidcraft Tarot, and I'd appreciate it if you just give me a moment here to collect my thoughts, center myself, and ask the Druidcraft Tarot the question, what can Leo sun signs expect in the month of June? Alright, that'll do it. Here we go. Cut the deck. And this is an 8-card spread. Okay, getting some relatively happy vibes from this spread here. Yeah, very nice. Okay, we've only got one major arcana. We've got a lot of cups, some pentacles. Well, it's all pretty well rounded, to be honest. Let's look at this spread one by one and see what this all means. The first card we're going to look at here is the energies of last month. So this is the energies of May, and we've got the 7 of Wands. I'm getting the feeling that May was a time of fighting. Now, when I say fighting, I don't mean physical fighting, but I see you battling up against opposing forces. And this could manifest itself in a number of ways. One way it can manifest itself is you were fighting the energies of the month, kind of. And while you had the upper hand, you never can really win if you're going to be going against the grain and not accepting what is. So I'm getting the feeling that in May, maybe some of you weren't accepting what is, and you were trying to go against the energies, go against the flow of the month, and it probably didn't work out so great. You could have, had some success and seen it as a success, but I think for the most part, whenever you fight against something, you're just asking for more of that. You're telling the universe that, yes, I want more of that which I fight against. So I think it's better to just go with the flow and be grateful for what you already have, for me personally. But yeah, I'm seeing May as a time where you were just kind of being a little bit defensive and just not accepting what is. I don't know how else to put it, basically. This card here represents the current energies of right now, the end of May, and we have the Princess of Cups, or the Page in other decks. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that your focus now is turning to emotion, and you're looking inward at your own emotions, and I think that's a great thing. I think anytime you're gonna, take the time and willingness to look inside and see what your emotions are trying to tell you, I think you're going to grow as a person. And though I do sense a hint of immaturity coming off of this card, of not truly understanding your emotions, at least you're trying. And I think that's the most important part, is going inward. And for some of you this might mean you're trying to figure out where your creativity lies. For others this might mean that you're trying to figure out where you stand in your interpersonal relationships. Maybe some of you are trying to figure out how you feel about your job or your career. But whatever it is that you're trying to analyze, I think it's a good thing that you're trying to do it, and I would expect to see more of this in the future, so that you're allowing your emotions to teach you something rather than just being going at the whims of your emotion. So yeah, that's really good. I do still see some immaturity though, so I don't think you're kind of there, but you're on your way to becoming a more well-rounded person emotionally. This card represents the energies of next month, so this would be June, and we're looking at the Ten of Cups, and I think that that Princess of Cups energy is going to segue into something greater. The Ten of Cups is about emotional fulfillment, and I see June as a very happy time for a lot of you. A lot of you are going to be very content with where you are, with your family situation or your relationship situation. Not so much like your work situation, but content emotionally. Maybe your job will give you emotional satisfaction. That's a possibility, but I mean in the sense that whatever satisfaction you're going to derive in the month of June is going to come from your emotions. It's going to come from your heart and deep within. So this is a great card. I think the Princess of Cups energy, I think that looking inward is really going to be the catalyst for you discovering what is truly going to fulfill you emotionally. So June looks like a great month ahead. I'm really getting the sense that you're working for it. You earned what is to come in June. Not that it's happened yet, but it's likely to happen. I think you've earned that through really processing your emotions in a way that doesn't allow them to just wreak havoc on you without conscious analyzation. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that you've directed your emotions and you've analyzed them and you've studied them. So now you know what they're trying to tell you, and you know how to get to this next step, which will be the Ten of Cups in June. Okay? This card here represents what to hold on to in the month of June. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Be creative. Stick to your passions. Work hard. All those things are encompassed in the Eight of Pentacles, and that's what I'm getting from this card. Most prominently, your passions, your creative passions. You see this guy being very diligent. He's working on something creative, and he's kind of just churning them out, star after star. And I think that's what creativity is about. It's a mixture of just pure raw creation mixed with hard work. And this card is asking you to do both. And hopefully in your job, whatever your job is, it allows you to be creative. Otherwise, you might want to find a different job. Just saying, if you're not being challenged creatively, then I don't know if you're going to be emotionally fulfilled. Maybe you are. I don't know you. Maybe that's something you enjoy. But I think for most people, I think you need to be challenged creatively at work. And I see this card is telling you to stick to that. Be very creative as much as you possibly can, and put in the work into that creativity so that you have something to show for it. It's not just all fluff and clouds. It's not just in the air. You bring it down to earth through hard work, and that's what you should hold on to for the month of June. So even though you're feeling very happy in June, this card is still asking you to put that work in that you know is necessary for you to live a full, well-rounded life. This card here represents the biggest hurdles you're going to expect to see in the month of June. We've got the Three of Swords. Uh-oh. Okay. Not to say there's not going to be some stumbles along the way in the month of June. And the Three of Swords is about betrayal. It's about heartache or heartbreak. I'm getting the sense that some of you are going to have emotional problems, and they're going to stem from words or thoughts that you have towards each other in your relationship. Is kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting some strain in relationship, and no relationship is without strain, but more so than most other months. I see June as being a very big challenge for you in your relationships for some of you. And if you're not in a relationship, then this could point to heartbreak of another kind. Maybe not getting the job you wanted, or a friendship kind of on the rocks, or what is heartbreak? Whenever your highest, loftiest goals for your emotional heart are, imagine that's not coming to fruition and you feeling bad about it. And so for most of you, I think this is probably in a relationship, but for others of you, it could be a very different thing. But whatever your heart wants, I see that there's going to be a setback, and you're going to have to deal with it in some way, and that's going to be a little bit of an obstacle for you. Not one that you can't get over. We've all experienced heartbreak. We've all come out the other end. But it's something that you're going to have to face this month, potentially. And don't get down. You know, if and when it happens, don't get down on yourself. Just take it in stride and see what happens. See if you can handle it. This card here represents what to let go of in the month of June. We've got the Chariot. A major arcana, the only one. Just give me 1 second with this card. Okay. This card is saying to not go forward with reckless abandon. I don't think June is the month for a huge change in your life. I think this card is asking you to not necessarily keep things the way they are, but focus more on emotional stability rather than trying to, you know, put your goals into motion, rather than trying to get to new places. I think June's going to be a time for you to get emotionally stable and secure, rather than you know, forging ahead into the unknown and creating new trails and stuff like that. So I don't expect like a huge amount of change to come in June. I think this card is telling you to let go of the desire to see huge changes in your life and movement in your life, because I think we need to get organized here. I think we need to get situated, Leos, so that you are in position to make this move in the future. But I don't think June's the time for you to make big sweeping changes in your life that are going to bring you closer towards your goals. I think this is the month for smaller steps, and definitely healing the self, the inner self, the higher self, and healing that so that you're in position to make those changes into the future. This card here represents the people around you in the month of June, and we've got the Four of Pentacles. I think the people around you are going to be a little bit guarded and distracted from you. I think, Leos, you're going to have to kind of strike out on your own this month. Not going to get too much help from the people around you as far as emotional stability. I think there are a lot of them are going to be focused on work, on finances, on getting more of what they need. And so it is not going to be true of every person in your life, but for the overall energy of people in your life, I think, Leos, you're going to feel like they're kind of ignoring you a little bit, and they got their own thing going on, and they don't have really much time for you. And that's okay. Everyone's on their own path, their own journey. You can't force anything. All this card is saying is that I wouldn't put too much faith or trust or lean too heavily on other people this month. I think this is a month for internal healing, and this is self-healing that you're going to have to do, and you're not going to see too much help from outside sources simply because they're going to be distracted on their own journey. So yeah, I mean, this is not to condemn everyone in your life as being, you know, distracted or anything, but for the most part, I think you're going to have to kind of be on your own in this month and do your own thing and solve your own problems, basically, which is not a bad thing because it helps you grow even faster. This last card here that's turned over represents the biggest lesson that you can expect to learn in the month of June, and we have, drumroll please, the Queen of Swords. Aha, the biggest lesson in the month of June is exactly what I've been saying. It's time to get introspective. It's time to self-analyze. And this card, you know, rather than the Princess of Cups who's analyzing her emotions, or the way I read it at least, I think the Queen of Swords here is analyzing her thoughts and her ideas and kind of being a little bit introspective and trying to feel out what she wants logically. And this, you know, doesn't matter if you're he or she. I mean, the Queen of Swords is saying this is someone who's going to be a little bit mature in the way that she thinks or he thinks and acts. And is going to be introspective about it, and is going to be a little bit more conscious about the thoughts that they're having and putting out into the world, because he or she knows that their thoughts help control their reality, help dictate their reality. So I think a big lesson here is going to be gaining control of your ego mind and analyzing it in a way that makes it work for you rather than against you, which can possibly happen. So that's going to be a lesson for you guys, Leos, is very much so a self-reflective month I'm getting for the month of June, though happiness is on the horizon. So now that we've seen all the cards, let's put them all together and see what the overall message is here. Like I said, in the month of May, I see that you may have been battling against something, and this is not a big battle. It wasn't like you just had a huge altercation. But yeah, I think get the feeling that you're kind of battling against the present energies, the current energies, and maybe you had some. Maybe as a result of that, you felt some strife with your relationships or with your coworkers or something like that. So I'm getting the sense that there was some pushback as far as you not wanting to go with what was, basically. But moving into the present moment, I see a lot of you are getting more in touch with your emotions, and you're starting to think about them and starting to look at them and trying to analyze what they're trying to tell you and what they mean, which is a very good thing. I think it's going to help you. It's going to put you on that road to healing, and put you on that road it does, because moving into the month of June, I'm seeing the Ten of Cups here as a reaching some goal as far as being emotionally fulfilled. I see a lot of you being very happy in the month of June, and this is probably a result of you going inward and self-analyzing. And so I think you're going to see some results very quickly from the analyzations that you've been doing this right now, currently. And we're going to see some emotional fulfillment, whatever that means for you. I can't say, every person's different. This is a general overall reading, but you know, whatever it means to be emotionally fulfilled, I think you're going to get closer to that goal in the month of June, and you're going to feel some happiness as a result. What to hold on to is your creative outlet, work. Put in work. Don't sit back on your laurels. Don't rest on your laurels. Put in the creative work that you know is necessary, that you feel compelled to do, so in order to, you know, put good energy into this world. And you know, the Eight of Pentacles is all about just forging away and continuing down that creative path. And I think that's what you should really focus on. And it's going to be a great way for you to release your emotions. Creative pursuits are a great emotional release. So if you are feeling some negative emotions, you can put that into your creative artwork or whatever it is. Or if you're even feeling some negative emotions, you can put that into your creativity and really channel that and heal as a result. Use that as a way to heal your emotions. So be creative for the month of June is what that card is saying. The Three of Swords here is representing an obstacle, and I'm getting the sense that there's going to be some strife in your love life. If you don't have a love life, if you're not, you know, seeing someone romantically, this could be a friendship, or it could be coworkers or a job. Whatever your heart desires, I'm going to see a little bit of a setback. And again, this is not going to pertain to every one of you, but for the most part, I see a lot of setbacks, and you kind of taking it in a very negative ego way. And that's going to be a challenge for you, as this Queen of Swords will dictate in a moment. What to let go of is the Chariot, the idea that it's time to push forward and into new territory, take all your skills and push into a new venture. Now is not the time for that. At least in the month of June is not the time for that. I think June's more of a healing month, and for you guys, Leos, and more of a self-reflection month, and a time for you to really analyze, self-analyze, and heal from whatever past energies you were fighting against. The people around you are going to be doing their own thing. They're going to be kind of on that grind. You know, they're gonna be kind of distracted. So all this card is saying is that for the most part, people in your life, most people are going to be kind of not 100% there for you the way that you want them to be, and you know, that can be hard for a Leo. I know you guys like to be the center of attention, but let people do their own thing this month, and they will come back to you. Don't worry. This is a temporary thing. These are just the energies that are swirling around. So it's not permanent, okay? It's just for this month. Don't expect to be the center of all the attention, okay? For once. And the biggest lesson you're going to have is mastering your ego thoughts, and in order to do that, you're gonna have to self-analyze. You're gonna have to really be conscious about the ego thoughts you're having and what they're doing for you and how they're hurting you. And the Queen of Swords is asking you to be introspective about them, really take charge of them, be conscious about what thoughts you're having, so that they're not controlling you, you're controlling them. And only then will you have a life that is in alignment with what your ego mind truly wants, or what your heart even wants even. So that is my general overview for the month of June for Leo sun signs. I hope you guys got something out of that. Remember, if you want a more personalized reading that's just for you, where I tap into your specific energies, then head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. I've got a bunch of spreads that you can choose from over there, and we can work together to answer pretty much any problem you have, or answer any question that you have. I'm here to help, and we can help each other to get to the bottom of it. So I would appreciate it if you go check that out. Leave a like if you got something out of this reading. And put a comment in the comment section below if you have anything to say, if you have any questions to ask about it. I'd love to hear your comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do these tarot scopes bi-monthly, and I also release some other videos along the way, so that there's always plenty to see here on the channel. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. Leave a like if you liked it. Happy taroting. Peace.